What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be a little different. I want to make a video about should I become a diesel mechanic or diesel technician. I've been doing this for about 10 years, give or take, and this video is aimed more at guys or girls in high school or just out of high school thinking about going to school for diesel. I'm kind of, I'm not trying to talk crap about this field. And if you're doing this for a job already and you love it, good for you. Not telling you not to do it. My experience is no, you should not do this for a job. I'm going to go over some points. Now, I live in Wisconsin, so I only can talk about what it's like to be a diesel tech or mechanic in Wisconsin, in my area, at the companies I've worked for. So if you don't know, I've worked on coach buses now. I've worked on semis, dump trucks, trailers, school buses, cars, trucks, SUVs. Done it all. And, depending upon what shop you go to, can really have a determination of whether or not you like your job, like any place. But I wanted to show you guys kind of a day-to-day thing that I have to do, which is why I don't like doing this job. So first things first, the buses I'm working on are all old. This one here is a 2003. This one right here is a 2000. One outside is a 1998, and this is the 1999. All our Detroit 60s. That is a 2015 the Volvo. That's actually a nice bus. So first things first. What I'm doing now is the latch on here is broken. Somebody tried to get it and broke it. And you can't get in there to try and fix it. So I got to screw around here now and try and fix this latch. Okay? You're going to have this in a lot of vehicles where like oddball crap like that. Another thing here is the amount of rust. These buses are just cancered out because they're so old. A lot of guys don't want to have newer stuff with the emission stuff. So like in Wisconsin, you can run these as long as you want to. So a lot of guys are. There's not a lot of room in here. I had to change out, I'm going to get a flashlight, but I had to change out all the block heaters on these damn buses. Let me get a flashlight and show where they're at. They're a pain in the ass to, well, for a guy who's 6'2", 250 pounds, they're a pain in the ass to get to. For a smaller guy, probably not so much. But I had to crawl in there, and naturally it's winter when these go bad. They don't go bad in the summer when you check them. So, right back in there. Oh, where the hell is it? I don't know if you can see that, but right there where the cables are block heater. Okay. Now, to get in there, you gotta go through all this shit. This fucking thing hits you in the back and the head. You gotta try and crawl in there and squeeze in there. And it's a 1 3/8 inch nut on that block heater. The one I did yesterday, some dumbass put red Loctite on the nut that goes over the block heater, so I had to break the fucker off. Spent half the day getting that out. But yeah, look how, this shit's just rusted out. All over the place you gotta do. So that's something I have to deal with. Another thing, it's hard on your health. Doing tires on these bastards is a pain in the ass. I don't like doing them at all. Pulling these things off, these are heavy. These are 315, what are they? Yeah, 315, 80, or 22.5. These are the brakes. They're huge. These calipers are gigantic. Rotor's gigantic, but the caliper, the new one in there, give you, my hand for comparison. This thing weighs about 100 pounds. They're heavy. So, then you got shit like this where these stupid ass things get seized in the lug nuts because moisture sits in there, get all rusty. You gotta try and get them off. On these things, I don't know if I can tell back here. Yeah. On here, these all rusted out to where we had to put new metal over all this. all the frames had rusted out in these buses. I don't know, I can't really get in there really well, but all that had to be replated, and all this shit had to be replated. So, like, I do a lot of welding here, which I hate, because all this stuff's rusted out. And, like I say, if I wanted to weld, I would have been a welder. But that's part of being a mechanic, is welding. Another thing I hate is these big, heavy-ass batteries. These are an 8D. They're not the 31 group size. These are big bastards that weigh, 100 something pounds each. They're heavy as hell. There's 2 per bus. So you lift these heavy-ass things up. Exhaust pipes are gigantic. To me, it's just kind of a miserable job because it's dirty as all hell. You're breathing tons of toxic fumes. Everything is rusted on these buses and trucks and whatever else you work on in here. Maybe if you live down in Arizona or something where stuff's rust free, it'd probably be a lot better, honestly. But then you got stuff like trying to work in here and get at stuff, fuel filter. Not terrible to do, but still kind of a pain in the ass to get into. I just did a radiator in a bus, had to re-sheet metal the whole floor, pull this crap out. None of the damn Abastos work. I fixed all those yet too, but it's just, there's so many oddball jobs I just flat out don't like doing on these, like this latch. It just kind of kills your day. Then you're laying in water because it's winter out, snowing out, so you gotta fuck around with water, laying in water, having salt fall on your face, slush fall on your face, in your eyes. You're laying a creeper and your pants leg gets all wet from rolling around on here. Just not very fun. And then if you have a comeback, your boss gets all pissed off at you, it's an accident, whatever, which I don't really have comebacks ever because I take my time and do it right first, but shit does happen. Other things I don't like is, all this shit is so rusty. You gotta try and unseize all this shit to get these fucking clamps off. Then you have guys that like to just rig shit up and zip tie stuff and whatnot. For me, I just don't like this job. I don't like working on stuff anymore. When I was in high school, I thought, it'd be fun to work on cars. I was auto tech first, and it'd be fun, hang out with the guys, bullshit while working on cars. And I got in the field, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, nope, boss on your ass, get this car in, get that car out, get this done, and the cars were such pieces of shit. It was just terrible. Thought, oh, diesel will be better. Wrong. Now let's talk about pay once. So pay, yeah, you'll make decent money at this. I make fairly okay money. In my area, I make between 60 and 80,000 a year, depending upon how much overtime I do. But the amount of tools you got to buy. Now this shop here supplies most of our stuff. I don't really stock much here. I don't need it. Some oddball shit. But if you work at like International Cat, you'll need to buy a huge ass toolbox full of tools, because you're gonna need a lot of tools. So you're talking, you got to already up front spend a fortune on tools in a box, and then over the course of time as stuff changes, you're gonna be buying more tools and more storage space. So it's like you're basically working to pay for your tools to work. So it's just kind of stupid. And like here, we get to use these ramps, wood ramps, and these fucking pieces of shit here that suck. These things are garbage. It's fucking race ramps crap or junk. We've had these rebuilt like 4 times because the bus crushes the sides of them. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know, not a big fan of this job, but maybe some of you other guys that are can chime in. If you live down in Texas or Arizona or something where you don't have salt and rust to worry about, chime in. I'd like to hear about how you like doing it down there. Up here, I don't know anybody up here that does this for a job that likes their job. Every mechanic and technician I talk to up here in Wisconsin tells me they hate their job. Every one of them. I have not met one single person that likes doing this shit at all, because it's so miserable and you don't get what you put into it. You spend all that money on tools over years in the box, and you never see your money back. So And I'm not trying to discourage you from doing something you want to try, you know. I'm just saying, if you're thinking on going to school for this shit, don't waste your money and your time. You're better off doing it for something else. If I could do it over again, I'd probably go for a trade job, or go and work at a factory. That's where I was last time. My last job was a factory job. Made more money, better benefits, way better career. But the hours were terrible. So this is also 5 minutes from my house, but it's just guys think they're going to get into this job and, I'm going to do injectors. I'm going to rebuild engines. I'm going to do all this motor work. You're not. You're not going to get out of college or start a job and go right to engine work. You'll be the guy outside freezing his ass off in the winter, jumping vehicles and doing light bulbs and shit. The guys who have been at the job for 20 years are the ones who are doing engine work. You got to work up to doing that kind of stuff. And some places don't pay for ASE certifications, which, take those for whatever you want. I'm ASE certified. I'm not saying if you need to be or shouldn't, or if they're great or bad. It's a personal thing. I didn't pay for mine. Mine were paid for me, and I took the test and passed them. But just one of those things where you want to really think about this before you just jump into it and say, I'm going to spend, $10,000, $20,000 a year for tuition at some college to learn how to change oil and do all this crap. And then you go into the field, it's like, now I got to spend my whole paycheck every week with the Snap-on guy or the Matco guy or whatever. And, it's one of those things where if you're in high school right now, really think about this. You might hear younger guys say, but there's tons of jobs and tons of money and nobody wants to do this for a job and we can make a fortune at it and, it'll be fun. No. Talk to guys who've been doing this for 20 years. Go out to a shop and actually talk to guys who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who are doing this stuff for a long time and ask them how they like doing it. I can guarantee you they will all say they hate it. And you're not making that much more than other people are at just normal factory jobs or anything else. But kind of just my little 2 cents here. And again, if you're in this field and you love it, I'm not telling you not to like it. And I'm not talking shit about it to you. I'm just saying for me personally, where I've been at in these different areas in Wisconsin with all the salt and everything, this is not a great career to have at all. This is not something I want to do for 45 years until I retire, flat out. So if you're in automotive and you think, diesel will be better, it's really not. Now you're guaranteed a job. Job security is a great thing because, obviously you have to have trucks and stuff going. So it's something to think about with doing that and whatnot. But, then you got jobs, though, too, where you got to fix airlines and air leaks everywhere and airbags. And actually, I'll show you some of the stuff that I got to replace on a frequent basis, which is kind of annoying. We had a whole bunch of these latches freeze up in the winter. The other day I had to go through all these and take all this shit apart and lubricate them because they're freaking getting all full of salt and they were getting all frozen up. I had to do that shit outside too, and it was fucking 0 degrees out 2 days ago. It was terrible, freezing my ass off outside. But then you got these airbags. Ain't hard to do, but every nut that goes on these is seized. And you only got, that much space to get a wrench on the son of a bitch, so if you round the fucker off, you gotta pull a torch out and torch the thing off. Starters are about the size of a small block. They're huge. All the electrical shit is a pain in the ass to do on these buses and trucks and semis and big vehicles, and then you gotta screw around doing all the little airbags for the belt tensioners and, everything requires so much extra effort to make work. And usually your boss is going to say, hey, get this vehicle out because they want it done and back up, or it's a customer vehicle and they need it back or whatever. And some of the metal I had to cut up and weld. And, it's just not a great job to have. It's in the winter especially, man. It's horrible up in the northern states where you have salt and water and rust everywhere. Nothing's worse than laying down on wet concrete, getting your legs all full of water right in the first part of the morning you get to work, and then having salt water drip in your eyes and your face, and a big pile of slush goes down your back, and it ruins your day. You freeze your ass off going outside to jump these pieces of crap, and it's not fun. So I mean, really think about if you want to do this for a job. It's something to really consider of doing something different, because they, and newer technology have more crap to deal with. But just want to make this video about helping the younger people out to really make an informed decision. And again, I'm not talking crap about this field to anybody. I'm just saying to younger people, really think if you want to do this or not. If you've been doing this 25 years and you love it, good for you. Thank you. That's great. I don't care. Like I said, many guys down south love their jobs, or younger guys do. But once you get to be old, once you've been doing this for at least 10 years, it's no longer fun. This shit's heavier than all hell moving these tires. And, all this shit gets so rusted out that, the rims will have holes in them from leaking because of how rusty the shit is. But that's just my 2 cents, so hope this helps anybody out that wants to make a more informed decision on working on this crap. And maybe you want to work on rust and stuff, I don't know. But something to think about. So if you don't like the video, thumbs down. You like it, thumbs up. Hey, maybe you're like me and you hate doing this shit. If you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. I got plenty more videos to show and whatnot. Check out Patreon, and you guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later.